Hello everyone. Today we are going to look at a very important method in solving the indicial equation. That is the substitution method. Okay, this method is very important, especially for the later study in the methods course when you're doing the calculus. Now let's look at the question. If we have an equation that says 5 to the power of 2x plus 5 to the power of x plus 1 and take away 6 equal to 0. How do we solve this equation? You can pause this video and have a go. Okay, the challenge of this question is very apparent. We have two index. Okay, we have two index and the different index. One says 2x, the other one says x plus 1, and then we have another number. So it is impossible at this stage to rewrite it as 5 to the power of x equal to some sort of 5 to the power of a value. So we can't yet figure this one out. Okay, so we got to look at another way to help us to work out this equation. We can do that by using the substitution method. Now we know that we want to find a value of x, and the base number at this equation looks like it's 5. So we can replace the 5 to the power of x. Let's just call that a square box. Let's replace this with the letter y. So in this case, we have a different variable. Now, so in this case, we can think about if we write that as an equation, we can say y is the same as 5 to the power of x. Y can be replaced by 5 to the power of x, and 5 to the power of x can replace y. Okay, now let's look at the original equation. With the original equation, we are trying to rearrange a couple of things using the index law. Okay, so the first term is raising a power of 2x. We can rewrite that as 5 to the power of x raised by a power of 2. Okay, so remember when we simplify, we got to bring the 2 in. So if we want to do the bracket, we can bring the 2 out as well. And using the index law, we can also have 5 to the power of x plus 1 will be just 5 to the power of x times 5 to the power of 1. And of course, take away 6 will give us 0. This is a little bit different from the original equation. Looks a little bit different, but we're actually applying the index law to rearrange it. Now, why do we do that? Because in the first term, we'll have 5 to the power of x. In the second term, we'll also have 5 to the power of x. And we know that 5 to the power of x can be replaced by the value of y. So we can do the first term will become y squared. And the second term will become y times 5 will be just 5y. And then take away 6 will give us 0. Okay, so instead of looking at this complex equation, we now have a quadratic equation that we can solve. So to solve this quadratic equation, yes, you can apply the quadratic formula, but the easiest way is to factorize it. We can do y plus 6, and then y take away 1 will be equal to 0. Okay, using the null factor law, we know that there will be two possible y values for this one. So the first y value is going to be equal to -6. The second possible y value will be just 1. So this equation will come up with two solutions. But hang on a minute, let's think about it. Y is 5 to the power of a number. That means we're multiplying this number 5 like by x times. Because 5 is a positive number, doesn't matter how many times I multiply it by, can be twice, can be 3 times, it's always going to be a positive number. So in this case, y cannot be negative. So the first solution will not work. We can just simply cross that. And then we use the second equation. Okay, so the first one wouldn't work because y has to be greater than 0. Now, let's just think about it. Now, we know y would be equal to 1, and that's the only solution at this stage. So we write y is 1. So we write 1, and then we know y is the same as 5 to the power of x. So 1 is equal to 5 to the power of x. Now, using the zero index law, we know that if a number to the power of something gives us 1, then that x will be equal to 0. So in a longer version, we can just say 5 to the power of 0 is equal to 5 to the power of x, and therefore x will be equal to 0. Now, if we apply this one back into the equation, you'll see it works, because 5 to the power of 2x will be 5 to the power of 0, which gives us 1. And 5 to the power of x plus 1 will be just 5. And then take away 6 will equal to exactly 0. That's the same on the right hand side. So by checking that, we know the solution actually works. Okay? So this would be the final solution to this equation. This method is called the substitution method. The key essence of that is we're going to replace the index format with another variable, for example, y in this case, and solve it using the quadratic equation. And eventually, we bring the y value back into this substitution, and we can work out the value for x. Okay.